Yes, Seton.
I'll throw it in there for you, Dan. Poll question.
Okay.
Who is most at fault for the illegal formation penalty, Terry McLaurin or the ref?
I want to talk to Florio about this. Here's a couple of things, and I said this right after it happened. Does Terry McLaurin go to the official, the line judge, and go, am I onside? Or am I set up okay with the formation? Because if you go and ask the official, am I on sides here? Then I think the official should be able to tell you yes or no. If you go up and you say, hey, how am I on the formation? That to me is different. I had a problem with the official as if, and Florio pointed this out, it's almost like, it was a cowboy going for his gun, his six-shooter, ready to throw the flag immediately as the ball is snapped. That's what I'd like to know. I'd like to know, what did McLaurin say to the official? Was this about being onside, or am I okay with the formation? Yes, Eden.
Terry McLaurin is standing about 5 feet from the sideline. And on the sideline, there's yard markers, right?
Yeah.
The ball is on, say, the half-yard line, and he's lining up closer to the 2-yard line. He's a good 4 feet off of where he's supposed to be. Okay. How is he not able to see that? He shouldn't have to ask the ref, hey, how far am I good or not? And if the ref says, no, you're not, move up a little bit, and then he still doesn't move up enough, how much is the ref supposed to help him get onside when all he has to do is look at the gigantic white line on the field and be like, oh, wow, I actually do look like I'm about 3 feet off of this. Maybe I should move up more.
Wait, are you putting the blame on Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, no, I thought yesterday you were putting it on the official.
No, yesterday I put it on Terry McLaurin.
Oh, Seton Pro Shield protecting the refs. Never thought I'd see this day, even though he actually believes
How about that?
Yeah, because I said that yesterday. Terry McLaurin should know where he is.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The formation, that's what I had a problem with. I can't, as an official, I can't say to you, hey, your formation is wrong. I can tell you if you're on sides or not. Yes, Paul.
Here's the issue. In the post-game presser, Terry McLaurin was asked about the whole back and forth. He says on the second time when he checked with the ref if he was good, McLaurin says, the ref says, you were good.
But what does that mean? Are you good on sides, off sides?
Well, Marvin, you've been on the sidelines. We've been on the sidelines. The outside receiver does this on every single NFL play. He gives a quick head nod, hand gesture, and look to the ref. And the ref gives him like a hand signal or a good thumbs up. I've heard it and seen it 1,000 times.
I know that. I'm talking about the formation.
The formation doesn't work if McLaurin's not on the line. And that's why it's called. Correct. That by McLaurin not being on the line.
Well, then I'm going to put it on McLaurin if you don't know where the damn line is.
Yes,
I thought it was just about offsides.
No.
And then if that happens all the time.
There has to be a receiver, not a tackle at the last on the outside.
Yeah, that's
and by
his
McLaurin
fault.
being a half yard back, that means it's a legal formation.
I mean, that to me is just common sense. Where am I? Yes, Eden.
So far, though, then you and I, Dan, are the only people in the world who think it's the player's fault, because social media for the last 24 hours
I know
has been like, what are you, an idiot? Of course it's the ref's fault.
Yeah, I don't know. There are certain officials in certain sports who will help you. I understand that. They might say, hey, don't do that. I'm going to call that next time. Whatever it might be, I understand that. But in that situation, I just thought, all right, you go to the line of scrimmage. Do you know what the formation is? Do you know that you have to be on the line of scrimmage? And if you don't, then I'm going to put that on you. But you're right. I think we are in the minority here. I know Florio thinks, this is where you start to open up if an official wanted to fix a game, you could certainly do that. I don't want to open that up. Florio will join us next hour on this. Yes, Tom.
I think in general, and I know we talked about this the other day, and this happens thousands of times, and it's very commonplace, there should be no communication between the player and the official. If you want to argue something, that's a different point. But am I in the right spot? Is my heel on the foul line? Am I in the batter's box? Come on. It's just play the game. You should not be checking with the ref if you're lined up properly.
I don't have a problem with a hitter or a pitcher saying to the umpire, if doing it in a way that you don't embarrass him, where you say, Where was that?
It's not the ref's responsibility. They got balls and strikes, and they got fouls to call. They can't worry about you knowing where you're supposed to line up. Am I over the line? Is my toe? That's your deal, and I'm going to call it either way. Once the play starts, it's either going to be for or against you.
Yes, Paul.
I kind of agree with Fritzy in theory that, checking with the refs, that's not their job. But they have been doing it for 40 years that they've been checking with the refs. What the refs cannot do is, so let's say McLaurin wasn't up on the line, he can't interject without being asked by the wide receiver. He cannot do that.
Yes.
That is officially a rule.
Yeah. Seton.
Right, because there right now there are people who play football or coach football who are absolutely losing their minds listening to this. Because you're taught, right, as I've been reminded no fewer than 1,000 times, you're taught at every level of the game when you're out wide like that to check with the ref to make sure that you're good. That you're taught that, I guess, at Pop Warner, at high school, like whatever level of the game you're playing, you're taught at a very early age, check with the ref to make sure you're good. My problem is there's a line right there. All you have to do is look down. If you're a slot receiver and you're closer to the middle of the field, I could understand how confusing it might get. Am I off here or am I lined up right? Am I on the line of scrimmage or not?
Yes, Paul.
I could understand that.
I looked at it one more time just to really double check it. The ball is at the half-yard line. McLaurin's heels are on the 3. He's 2 yards from being onside or making that illegal formation. And he checks with the ref. The ref says something and says something. And McLaurin moves up maybe half a yard. He is still a yard and a half behind the line of scrimmage, which would make that an illegal formation.
All right, let me take a break here. Got people fired up over this.
It's so great. What a great league.
Seton, it's you and me today.
Get ready.
Yep.
Because it is a lonely world out there when you're
okay.
blaming the player for the penalty.
That's okay. That's okay. As we wind down the final couple of shows here, still searching for most valuable, least valuable, most improved, least improved, Danette. And still time to vote. We'll have the results on Thursday at the end of the show. Yes, Paul?
I'm watching the video again. It's so funny because people are Zaprudering it, like making it slow motion and spot shadows. Once McLaurin moves up like 6 inches, I don't know what the ref says, but he's already got his hand on the flag before the ball is snapped. Like he's like, "This is
he's like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Like, it's high noon. Yeah. Come on, and let's draw." And he pulls out the flag like right away.